I'm like Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
In this scenario.
So,
and
Matthew
you are Scarlett Johansson.
Hi, I'm Justin with Runaway Campers, sitting here with Marc David. He is our Tulsa, Oklahoma dealer. Marc, how you doing?
I'm doing darn good.
Darn tootin'?
Darn tootin' good.
So we are sitting here at Overland Expo Mountain West in Loveland, Colorado. We have a booth here for the weekend, kind of winding up. And before we leave, I wanted to sit down with both the dealers we got here to kind of discuss with them who they are, where they are, what they do, and why they do it.
Yeah.
So, Marc, you are a dealer for us in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Correct. 5.5 years now.
You kind of have an interesting story of how you became a dealer for us.
How I'm connected to the whole situation.
Yeah. Was no application, was there?
No, there wasn't. So, known the family since I was like 12. Your dad, who founded the company, was my youth pastor in Florida, and we've been close friends, for 30 years.
Heck yeah.
It just so happened that there was actually a dealer in Fort Smith for about a week.
Might have been 2 weeks.
Might have been 2 weeks.
I think we might have reached the 2 week mark, and the 3 week mark was the last straw.
I think he was not enjoying it. I think his reason was because he was getting too many phone calls.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I think that's what it was.
It was something he didn't think was going to be as much work. He thought it was going to be very easy.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting it to be so much phone calls. He wasn't expecting it going to be so many people outside of the area, and he was thinking it's just going to be drive-by traffic.
Right. Which is not the way that it works at all.
Yeah, no. How much drive-by traffic do you get?
Zero. As a matter of fact, I don't even lot anymore. Everything's in warehouse. When I first started, I had a warehouse because it was just like, what was the quickest methodology? So to parlay the story, your dad, I think, was on vacation, and Tulsa and Fort Smith's about an hour and a half away. And he had called me and he said, this guy's kind of acting squirrely, and is there anything I can do to maybe bring some campers up to Tulsa or kind of figure that out? I was like, whatever you need me to do, And we ended up getting like some mini storages, moved them around, and then I pulled a couple of them up to Tulsa, and I was like, just tell me what you need me to do, handle the paperwork or whatever. I think when the first customer was coming up, he just kind of flippantly said on the phone, he's like, if you ever want me to send you some more. And it was just a whole happenstance of situations, and I just, what do you mean? And then we were just talking about it. It was literally the next day I had everything set up. It worked out perfectly. And so I had a warehouse. I wanted to do something where I could get what I thought would be more, kind of foot traffic. A friend of mine has a car lot, and they gave me a section of it to post them up. What I found out was I wasn't really advertising for customers. I was advertising for people to come steal them. Yeah. So I actually had 3 of them stolen in 6 months. I ended up getting them all back.
Nice area.
And only one of them had a little damage or whatever. With that said, the drive-by traffic, even at that intersection for that whole period of time, I might have had 2 or 3 phone calls. The customer base is very typically they're looking and researching, and most people tell me I've been looking at this for the last year, 18 months, 2 years. Every once in a while I'll get somebody who'll just catch it, and the lady that just purchased one, she was looking at something local and found us through, I think I was telling you, through Instagram. She clicked on a thing for the tri-fold mattress, and then it was like, it was Runaway, and she's like, wait, what is this? And we were half the price and a more superior product and all that kind of jazz. So that happens rarely. Every once in a while it happens. But for the most part, it's 6 months, 12 months. So prefer to keep things under lock and key. But plus, it's also, you want them covered, and you want them, just makes it functionally easier that way.
Absolutely. So nobody can really just show up and check out campers at your lot. They all have to make an appointment.
They have to make an appointment. Because a lot of times the inventory changes so often. And so if someone's coming up, I'm really emphatic about call me, set up a time, because I don't want them thinking they're going to be able to see a rouser and I don't have one. That's the whole purpose. So I try to work around all of that. And then honestly, I'm just now starting to get more people that are more local. Biggest market for me is Texas. Dallas, you're 4.5 hours away. Arkansas, Missouri, those are a lot more areas. Oklahoma City is kind of it's centralized in an area where there's not a lot of mountains and things, so that the camping culture isn't as big. But anyway, with that said, I don't office there. They'll come in 5, 6 o'clock, no problem. Weekends, I meet most everybody I meet is Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings. I'll meet people at 4 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday to get them out of town, or if they're driving through, whatever. It's rarely ever that I even have a chance to see somebody Monday through Friday. It's like the model doesn't work that way. The way where I'm at.
More weekends and after hours.
It helps them out a lot too. A lot of people are coming in traveling 8-10 hours just to look at a camper. So I want to make sure if that's what they're doing, they can get up super early in the morning.
Yep.
They have plenty of time to kind of talk through it, spend an hour, hour and a half, whatever they want. Then they can split or drive away with one, or sometimes place it or whatever they need.
Yeah, we get people that drive down from Atlanta, which is like 6.5 hours to Ocala, and they just like show up. We're like, how you doing? Who are you? Where you come from? They're like, we just drove down from Atlanta, just want to check campers out. And we're like, okay, did you make a phone call? They're like, nah, just thought it'd be a great time. I'm like, all right, cool, glad you're here.
Yeah. It happens that way, and I'll obviously accommodate people. It's just, again, sometimes like right now, I'm not there. I have people to meet, but it's a little complicated, and I like to actually be there with them to kind of walk through and figure out what they want and everything. It makes it a lot better that way. I'll still have the ability for them to kind of show up and do the thing, but it's just it's a lot different for them to understand what exactly they're getting or want. And I tell people it's an odd thing, but I talk people out of things more than I talk them into things. Don't really talk them into anything, because you really want to go through the functionality. Like, well, it's like the rear door. I don't know if I want a rear door or not. Well, what are you going to use it for? You can't tell me what you're going to use it for. You're probably never going to use it. And so, like, just getting them to be comfortable, because the whole idea is that we want people to drive away excited, not thinking, man, should I have gotten that awning?
Yeah.
And I had a Rouser customer the other day came in, and she wanted like a roof rack and an awning, and she's about this big.
Yeah.
And we got to talking about it, and I was like, seriously, think about this. And like, I got my ladder out, and kind of, she's like, yeah. I'm like, look, you're not that far away. If you decide you want it later,
yeah, we'll bring it back in. We'll have
it's not. She's only an hour and 45 or something like that away. Come back and put it back on, but that's a $850 spend. I almost definitely never use it, or use it once, but that was.
Should be better off with any kind of like pop-up or something like that.
Or something. Yeah. And that would work well for some people, but in her situation, it was going to actually be there hands-on to kind of walk her through it and like really seriously think about how to do that. And
I think there's a lot of people that don't understand how tall the Rouser actually is, because it's up there. So to really maneuver and do the awning and stuff, then depending on how tall you are, depends on, do you need a step ladder, a step stool, an actual ladder, like what's the situation there, because it's versus the other models that we got are all like eye level for the roof rack, easy peasy. Like, majority of people don't have to have any kind of step ladder or any kind of boost up to reach anything up there and to pull the awnings out. So just you running the show in Tulsa? You got like 5 to 10 employees?
Doesn't take that much. I have a couple people that help me on and off, do installs and things like that. We don't, like I said, most everything that we do is it's a lot over the phone, so everybody's out of town.
So when they call Tulsa, Oklahoma, they're not getting a secretary. They're not getting some random person.
90% of the time get me.
Yeah.
Directly.
Cool deal. So you guys heard it first. Right here on Runaway Campers TV. You'll be give Mark a call. He'll be the one that answers. If he doesn't answer, leave him a message. He'll call you. He'll call you back. We promise.
Help me out. I promise I'll call you back, but you gotta leave a message.
Yeah.
I gotta know who you are. That's important. Yeah. We do get that a lot. People say, I called you 7 times. Like, I never got a message. I didn't leave a message. I don't get messages. It's kind of important.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
You could have been a salesman. What you call it? Man, I just went blank.
You went?
Telemarketer to call it.
Telemarketer, yes.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm not calling telemarketers back.
They're car warranty people?
Yeah. Used car warranty.
Yes. you got to keep in mind that about 40% of the phone calls that I get are complete spam. So it's kind of a thing. I know my markets, that's the thing, but if I get a call from Southern California, it's going to voicemail.
Yeah.
Or it's going to go to something, and I'm going to check first, so.
Yeah.
But, that's what it is.
So, do you have a camper? You use any campers?
We have the demos still. I use those all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we're talking about a couple times a month. But I like to take them out and display them. I'll take one and go to over, if you're familiar with the area, I'll go to Tahlequah, those spots, go fishing, do whatever. But the point is really just to get it out because, like we were saying, you can put them on a lot. And the only way that it's going to make a difference is someone's planning to come there to see it anyway.
Yeah.
But campers, that's where you want to display it.
Yep.
I mean, unless you want to just post up at Bass Pro all the time, but that's silly.
Depends on how much you like
Right.
Bass Pro.
And you want people to see it functionally being used, like to see like what the functionality is.
Yeah.
So like, because this guy right here, this is actually a customer's unit, because this actually was shipped in for the show, and he
Yep.
came up before we came to the show.
Okay.
Saw it, wanted
Cool.
it, purchased it. But having them out here, when you get them all decked out like that,
Yeah.
a lot of times before the customers will come up, because I'll take them out and I'll make sure they're all cleaned up and all that kind of stuff. But I'll leave it on there for a day or two, just because I let people see them.
Yeah.
And then I'll take it up and kind of pull it out anyway to get it all the warehouse dust off of it and all
Yeah.
that jazz. But yeah, I mean, but as far as using them, yeah, all the time.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, what do you do aside from Runaway Campers? Do you have any other gigs you do? Have
I have a
hobbies,
couple
interests?
things. Hobbies and
interests?
interests?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got into photography, really in that. That's what I was super excited about this trip. Come out here and kind of check out the whole off-road scene. This is kind of definitely fresh for me, is the culture.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years now since these been introduced, so we've had them, but I haven't really gotten into the culture. But
Yeah. It's completely different.
it's
isn't it?
completely different. This has been very eye-opening. And
The
fun.
mindset of overlanders, the off-road camper is completely different than the majority of everybody
it's really
else.
almost like not a variance, it's a completely different market segment. And while they are the same thing in practicality, it's just, again, the culture's totally different. Yeah, but that's probably the exciting thing, come up here and be able to do some photography and have some fun with that. And of course, this is wild. This is seriously wild.
Yeah, this is a crazy
I
event.
guess you kind of expect it, but it's like anything else. Once you get into it, you're like, wow, I mean, these people are really super dedicated to the culture, which is fun, super fun. And obviously, you like it.
Oh, I love it. This is my thing. This is my fun spot. I hate working the booth because I hate
to get out there.
Yeah, I want to be out there. I want to be with everybody else. I like camping at the events. This year I didn't get to because I just had to fly in. I got a 1-year-old daughter. Like, it was just kind of a crazy ordeal, and just kind of getting that figured out. So
Well, the after-hour stuff.
It was a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, all the people are super nice and accommodating, and just literally you can just walk up to anybody and be like, what are you doing? I know you're just sitting there hanging out, talking, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. And after you left last night too, we just kind of kept trucking around and hanging out and talking.
Kept making rounds.
Yep.
That was
super fun.
No, the culture's great. That's kind of a big thing. My getting into overlanding and off-roading and stuff. This coming to Overland Expo specifically kind of opened my wife's eyes to the culture and how people are and how it is. And I won't say she fell in love with it, but she approved. It's like, all right, we can do this.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like I totally get it now. This is and it fits. I'm a traveler, camper, adventurer. Have been my entire life. So this is just another little side of it. That, in my mind, when I think this is the exact same thing as when I would go overseas and go hostel jumping. And these people are exactly the same culture. It's just set up in a different way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh man, these are my freaking people, man.
Yeah.
And so and the places that you go.
So you can trade your 2-wheel drive 4Runner in for a 4-wheel drive now?
I don't know. Maybe. I almost got stuck at the expo in the mud. The only idiot with a 2-wheel drive in the whole show.
2-wheel drive and I'm gonna guess street tires.
No,
you got some.
No,
you have all terrains on there.
totally.
Yeah. Okay, there's street tires. All right, cool.
100%. But it was nasty mud. That was thick.
Yeah, first day
I was
just
not the only one that got
rained
stuck.
all day.
I was just the only idiot with a 2-wheel drive.
Yes, exactly.
So I barely squeezed out. was waiting for the. I was telling my buddy that's here, I was like, I'm get stuck. I'm gonna be that idiot. You know, everybody's like, let Daddy come pull you out. Junior. All right, guys. You know.
Yeah, let the big boys handle it.
From the airport, that's 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Like literally.
4-wheel drive. It's got a hitch. Like I'm more capable than yours.
And a glorified Honda Accord.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
So cool, man. Anything else you want to add? We're
come on down to Tulsa. We'll show you a good time.
Yeah. How can people find you? We'll obviously leave everything down in the description. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I hate that stuff. It's like, isn't that obvious? Like you watch the video.
Yeah, but you know, prompting. You know,
yeah.
If you don't ask, people forget.
All right, I'm asking. Do it.
Do it.
I'm telling. It's a command.
Yeah, you can go to Runaway Midwest Facebook page. Keep stuff updated there. Obviously, you can call me, email me.
Well, cool deal, man. Thank you for this wonderful interview.
Yeah.
We'll do it again sometime. Had a blast. See, Jack's over here, he's like, I'm already feeling awkward. I'm not even on video. But at least you get to see how awkward it already is and like how bad it can be. So